Okay, we should be working, but I've made a deal with myself where I'm gonna do some work and then do a puzzle. That seems reasonable. Feel like my brain is somewhat more functional today. I don't know. We'll see. Yesterday's solves were just, yeah. Well, we're gonna try to redeem ourselves here. So let's go over here. So we're gonna work on when the thrush knocks. Stand by the gray stone when the thrush knocks, and the setting sun with the last light of Durin's day will shine upon the keyhole. Evening was coming on, then suddenly, when their hope was lowest, a red ray of sun escaped like a finger through a rent in the cloud. A gleam of light came straight through the opening into the bay and fell on the smooth rock face. Okay, we're almost Sudoku rules. Begin by filling in the boat cells. So we're going to fill in our boats. We got just 10, a bunch of 10s. We've got black kropkis. As the sun sets in the west, a shaft of light will break through the clouds from one of the marked cells in column 1. So one of these illuminating the keyhole in the cliff wall in column 8. Starting from column 1 and ending in column 8, digits along the shaft increase as they move towards the keyhole. The remaining 4 cloud cells contain odd digits. So it's basically like a build your own thermo, but it's a long thermo. It starts in 1 and ends in 8, so it has every digit except for 1, which will be in column 9, I guess. The secret door in the mountainside is in column 8. Centered on the keyhole, contains digits that sum to 24. So that sum will be, or the keyhole is going to be 789. But it's not going to be, well, the center digit is not 7. So 7's going to be either the upper or lower digit. I don't think the center digit, if we start at 1 here, and when we get to column 8, we're only on 7. We've got a bad time because of the thermo rules. Okay, I think I get it. Let's I wonder if this is going to work better today. This is pretty. I feel like this felt suitable for the lake one we were doing. So we need like a cliff, and maybe things will load. Maybe they won't. I don't remember having a problem with Shader Toy in the past. What's the matter, Shader Toy? Is it a me problem? Like other websites are doing website stuff. Come on, buddy. Come on. Well, while we wait for that, let's copy over the boat, I guess. The boat digits, which were 274. Now wait a minute. Do I need to copy them in the 274 order, or in the order of the actual corresponding boats? It's the corresponding digits. Begin by filling in the boat cells in box 7 with the corresponding digits. So the left facing digit is 4. Oops. The down facing was the 7. The up facing was the 2. Okay. That feels like a very easy thing to gloss over. We still... Come on, Shader Toy. Come on, buddy. I think I missed an important message. Too bad. Do we try to get the cliff? Or we need like, maybe we need is clouds. Because we're gonna have a shaft of sunlight coming through the clouds. That's pretty. Look at that thing. Or do we just go with this terrain if the clouds aren't going to happen? Come on, clouds, you can do it. I know you can do it. Familiar with Clifford. Oh, come on, clouds. Just gonna go with this cliff. See which one loads first. That just loaded immediately. It's kind of clunky though. But I guess let's just go with it. We can move on with our lives. Okay. That's sort of fast moving and distracting. Apologize, but let's just go. Let's go for this. Or is it too... Oh gosh, maybe it's too distracting. Good heavens. Okay, let's just try clouds. So we copied over our digits, so let's restart. This was 4, 7, 2, I believe. 4, 7, 2. Okay, so we're in search of... Can we please just load some clouds? Why are you treating me like this? Shader toy. So what do we do? 5 is a bit restricted in here. 5, you know, we can't have 5, 7, or 9 on black crop geese. 5s can't be on black crop geese or X's. So I'm like a little bit drawn to just think about 5s for a second. Maybe it's not really meaningful. Like over here in the cliff land, fives are a little bit restricted, but not seemingly not in a super excited way. Why? Okay. Gosh, really? What is with Shader Toy? I've been using Shader Toy for so long. Sad. Well, I mean, I'll just leave it sitting over here. Do I need to, wait, now it comes, here, now we get it? Okay, how about some clouds? Let's interact. Maybe some clouds that aren't outrageously heavy. Why are all the clouds so heavy? Oh, look at the little journey, friend. Ooh, look at that. Let's do these. Very pretty. Probably also too jarring, but we're just gonna go for it. That's pretty. Okay, well maybe that will load one day. So we're thinking about 5s, and that seemed like not that useful, right? These are all odd digits, except there is the possibility of being a 2. There can't be a 3, because then it would be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by the time our sunbeam got over here. So these are all odd. They might all be odd, but there is the possibility that one of them could be a 2. Let's see if these clouds ever show up. What else are we thinking about? So we're trying to build a thermometer. So it's a tiny bit interesting in terms of like where the 5 falls, because if it does start with 1, I think our thermo has to start with 1 or 2, right? We only have 1 degree of freedom here. And that means that the 5 is going to fall either here or here, right? And remember, we're trying to make a sunbeam. So I think we can rule the sunbeam out of here, right? Because for this to be a sunbeam, we would have to have, this would be 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That doesn't work. 2, 3, 4, 5. That doesn't work. Did I say this column? I meant this column, sorry. So I think this is not a sunbeam. I think this is a cloudy day, is what I think. This could only be a sunbeam if it was a 1. Then, because the 2 is here. Well, but that wouldn't work because the 2 is here. So if this was a sunbeam, it either is a 2 or it's a 1. So I think this is a cloudy day. This could be 1, 2, 3, which would put 4 here, which would put 7 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is not a 1, right? Because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's unhappy. So could it be a 2? If it's a 2, this is a 3, that's a 6. This is a 4, that's a 6. The 5 is here, 6 is here, 7, 8, 9. So it seems possible for this one to be 2. It's definitely not a 1. Is it really possible to be a 2? 2, 3 makes this a 6. 4 makes this a 6. So these are both 6s. This is a 7. I'm sorry. What did I say? 2. Now I've just confused myself. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was a no-go. 2, this could be sunshine, but it could be rain, I think. It just can't be 1, but it would be 2, 3, 4. This is a 6. This is a 6. 5 is fine. This is a 6. This is a 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that has quite a bit of leeway, I think. This one we ruled out. These two just don't look very restricted, honestly. Now, we can't end up with a 7 here. So like 1, 2, 3. So how do I want to mark this? Like, this is a terrible way to pencil mark this. But for now, let's just say like this could be a 2. Just to remind myself that that's not a 1. I will probably change that pencil mark because that seems like a bad idea. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is not a 1. And this is not a 1. Right? So I think we're saying we never can have 1 in here. I think we're saying we definitely have a 2. The sunshine is 2, I think is what we're saying. Because this wasn't 1 because it put a 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Just to be sure, that is is that really consecutive or is it just increase? Because maybe I'm doing all this wrong. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Everything I'm doing is wrong. They're not sequential. It just says they increase. Sorry. That was wrong. They just increase. They're not necessarily sequential, meaning we could skip a digit and that digit could be over here. So that was I somehow interpreted that as sequential. Now, some things we said are still true, right? It is still true that that 1 or 2 are in here, right? It is still true that this has to start as 1 or 2, because if it starts at 3, it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we don't even make it to the wall. We have to hit the wall. So that is still true. But the way that I ruled things out is not necessarily true, because this could be 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, no, it couldn't. So this obviously doesn't go 1, 2, right? Because of this. And it obviously doesn't start with a 2. It could start 1, 3, but then it is sequential after that, because we only have 1 degree of freedom. So we now put our 3 over here. So it's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We get a 7 on a black dot. So I think this is ruled out. This one we ruled out because of the 5. So if we put the 5 over here, then it has to be, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was broken, and 2, 3, 4, 5 was broken. So if we skip 5, 5 is over here, and it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, which actually does work. Kind of wasn't expecting that work. 7, 8, 9. So 1 is okay here. I thought that was not going to work, but it did. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 certainly does not work. But 1 could work here. So what did we not like about 1 up here? It was the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if we put 5 down, well, we can't. So this one is not 1, right? Because if it was 1, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if we try to stick the 5 down here to not deal with it, then it's on an X. So this is definitely not 1. 2 was 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 seemed okay here. These are bad pencil marks, but just to think through this for a second. This digit, we got to be thoughtful about what we try to cram down here. But it seemed to be okay as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it couldn't be 7. But it could be 7, 3. So 1, we can only do 1 if we put 7 here, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, putting a 4 here. So it does seem possible to have a 1 there. Or it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with a 4, 9, and then the 1 goes here. Obviously, if we start with a 2, the 1's at the end. That is the thing that is true. So starting this with a 2 does force a 1 here, so that forces a 9 here, but that's okay. But this one we said we couldn't do 2. Or wait, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 2 is okay. This is 1 or 2. And this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not allowed. But with the 7 here, it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 4, 9, 7. 2 would be here. Would have to be with a 4. This would be a 6. That was 1, 2, 3. So I think that was a 1. And then 2 here would be, this is really probably not the way to do this puzzle. 2 puts a 1 here. So this is 2, 3, 6, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with a 4, 9. So I think 2 is okay there. It'd be cool to rule 2 out of here. I mean, just to know it was in here. So the 2, we ruled 1 out of here for a reason, which was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is either here or it's here. So that rules 1 out. 2 is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That seems okay. So I don't know. I'm not really thinking about this correctly. This means you either have a 1, 2 and a 4, 8, or one of these has to be a 3, 6. The thing about putting a 6 here is that's going to put a 4 here, and a 4 here is going to put a 6 here. So that does put pressure. Like if I put 6 here, this is 3, and then this has to be a 1, 2 pair. But I think that's okay. We do have actually, okay, good grief. This is probably the place to actually start. Look at this 4 and the 2. What is this? Normally a black Kropke is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. If you don't have the 4, the 8 can't go next to anything. And as soon as you remove the 2, the 1 can't go next to anything. So that does become a 3, 6 pair, which does reduce our options here. 1, 5, 8, 9. What does that do? That means this is certainly not a 3, 6, right? So this is from 1, 2, 4, 8. Because this is not a 3, 6. That does mean this is 9, 8, 6, 2. And it means this is 9, 8, 6, 2. So what does that mean for this person? Did I really say a 2 couldn't go here? Why did I say that? Or I just was incomplete with my pencil marks. 2 puts a 1 over here. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's no good. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 5's got to be over here, right? So we're saying this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. This would have to be 7, and it can't be. So I think that's a cloudy day. These are odd, by the way, when they're cloudy, for whatever that's worth. So this is cloudy, and it's not a 7. So it's 1, 3, 5, 9. So this could be 1, 2. It could be 2, 4, or it could be 4, 8. Trying to think of what that means in terms of the thisness. This is also not a 3, 6. Here. So that means this is 1, 2, 4, 8. So that's bad news for anybody trying to get here. Right? Because we're trying to, this has to be 8 or 9. So one of these directions could be 8, 9, right? Like if you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you could do it, but it'd be cool if that like totally excluded something, but it shuts down one of these, I guess. But unfortunately, one of them is still allowed. What's going on with the Greystone? Is it just looking cool? This is a little interesting. Right. Okay, let's think about this one. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, right? But if we put a 3 here, then we need a 7 here. So this is not a 3. And if this is not a 3, then this is not a 6. If we put a 6 here, then this is a 4. So this is not a 6. And if this is not a 6, this is not a 3. So we're back to 1, 2, 4, 8, which is kind of interesting. So 1, 2, 4, 8 is going to demand 9, 8, 6, but not 2. Now, the unfortunate thing is 2 does rule out 8 here, so we can't have an 8 here. But that doesn't actually rule out 4 here, because the 4 could still go next to the 2. That's helpful. I mean, in that, if we hadn't already ruled this out, this would have ruled that out. So if this was a real person, it would have to be the only way this could, yeah, okay, interesting. So I think I'm going to say this can't be 2, because that would mean this was 2, 4, right? If I put a 2 here, it's 2, 4, because I've got to increase. I've already crammed my 1 over here. Well, it's already broken, right? Because if it's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is not a 2. If it's a 1, then this is a 2. So this is a 4. So I think this is actually never a 1, because if this was a 1, this has to be a 2, and then maybe that's actually okay if we use this 2. Never mind. I don't think we can quite rule that out yet. But so we would be 1, 2. We can't skip any. Well, no, we have to skip something, because it's basically going to be 1, 2. This is obviously not a 4, so this is the 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 7, or something like that. So I think it is actually still possible for that person. It is also still possible for this to be a 1, 2, or a 2, 4, or a 4, 8. So we haven't quite reduced this enough, which is too bad, because I would like to do that. We know we have a low and a high digit here. We know we have a low and a high digit here. This could be either 2 lows or a low and a high. If this is 9, 1, 2. But that's okay if this is the real deal. 9, 1, 2. Or it's 8, 2, 1, or 4. Or it's 6, 4, 2, or 8. I think all those combos will work. Feels like there's a option reduction that I have missed. Like this is obviously not a 3, 6, but only this one. So like, well, that's fine, because that rules out. Well, it's not one of 3 or 6. This could still be 3, 6 the other way, right? Like this digit could be here and this digit could be here. So we're ruling out one flavor of 3, 6, but we don't know which. And the other flavor is valid. This was never a 5, by the way. This becomes 9 with the 1, or a 1, 2. So this is one. This is either 1, 9 or 8, 2. 1, 9 or 8, 2. Five could be here. What does that mean for this person? Not that much, really. Rules out one of the low digits. Okay, well, let's think about this a little bit. Normally it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, right? But there's definitely a 1 or a 2 down here. So this is definitely not a 1, right? Because if I had a 1 here, the other digit would be 2, and this would be 8, 9 on X. So there's no 1 in there for sure. You could still have, you know, the 8, 4 with the 9, 1. That doesn't hurt anything. You could also have the 9, 1 with the 2, 4. But you could also just have like a 3, 6 here. So, not totally sure about that. This is not very cool. I mean, it's the 2 would need an 8, the 3 would need a 7, the 4 would need a 6, the 6 would need a 4, the 8 would need a 2. So that's just not a very, at this moment, not a very fun X. This X, we didn't really rule anything out here, right? Like, the only way to do this without getting into 1s and 2s is for 8, but that seems okay. 4 does have to. I don't know. 4 has to live somewhere, I guess, is the rest of that sentence. This okay. Gosh, we didn't even think about this one either. This one definitely has some bits and bobs. So, and do we rule anything? Not really, unfortunately. We rule out parts of this, but only from one side. So this is really not that restricted. This could still be 1 with a 9 or 2 with an 8. It can't be 3 with a 7. It could be 4 with a 6. It can never be a 5. It can't be 6 with a 4. It could be 7 with a 3. It can't be 8 with a 2. It could be 9 with a 1. Does that give us some exciting missing fellow? I don't think it does. So we got a couple too many options. So do we need to think more about our... This unfortunately still seemed possible, right? Like 1, 2 was okay. This wasn't a 2. We'd have to land, if we do these, we have to land on an 8 here. So that puts a 9 here. If we're gonna go through here, which we almost know that we do. I guess the one thing that is preventing that is, oh. Gosh, almost. But remember that by putting a 2 here, I've said this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and a 1 is here. But a 1 here makes this 1, 9, and that seems to be okay. That makes this 2, 8. That removes the 2 and the 8 from here. So this becomes 3, 6. And this becomes 7 or 4. Although, does that damage this? If this is a 1, this is certainly not a 1, 2. So if we put a 1 here, this is 8, 2, right? One goes here, 9 goes here. This is 8 and 2. So we have to remove both 8 and 2 from that. So this becomes a 3, 6, right? If we put a 1 here, this is a 3, 6. I believe. If we do that, then we then have to do this. Remember, this is like this. We would be removing 1 and 3, 6, but we'd be left with 2, 4, which still can work as long as if we do 3, 6, this is a 4 and that breaks. But if we do 6, 3, 6, 3, 7, 1, this I think is still allowed. So unless this guy has something to say about that. I had a 2, 4 here. Like if we could pare this down. Well, we did pare that down. Gosh, okay, so this is very complicated. This is an 8 in that scenario. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which would see these. So there would be no 8 here. So this would be 1, 2, 4, but even then this would be 2, 4, and it kind of seems like it would be okay. This would be 8, 9, 1. This would be something like 6, 3, 7. This would be a 2, 4. The 9 would be here. No. Sorry, the 9 would be here. What digit is here in that scenario? What did I just said? It said this was 8, 9, 1, 6, 3, 4. The 5. This would be 5 in that scenario. I don't know. That feels over considered. This is a black dot. I forgot about that. That means this is definitely a 4. So this is a 3 in that scenario, right? If we put a 2 here, this has to be 4. No. I'm sorry. That's not true at all. It could still be 3. I was saying we ruled 3 out. We did not do that. This is 2. This is 3, 6. Which we just rule out the 6 here, which rules out the 4 here, which rules out the 2 and the 8 here. And then this, so that's 2, 3, that's 6, that's 4. This is 6. But I think it's okay for that to be 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 4. 7. This is an 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's always an 8 here, it seems. Right? Because if these go through and go through here, there has to be an 8. And if this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then this is a 9, this is a 3, this is a 7. That 3, 7 doesn't really do anything there. Does mean that there's no 8 down here, I think. So we remove 8 from here, and as soon as we remove 8 from here, remove 2 from here. If we remove 2 from here, we have to remove 1 from here. If we remove 1 from here, we have to remove 9 from here. So that's 2, 6, or 8. Or any of those. We already think we can't have our sunshine go that way. Oh, gosh. I forgot about the keyhole digits. We also have wherever the keyhole is. So the keyhole is here or here or here, right? And that keyhole has to sum to 24. We already said that it's not, we know the middle is 8 or 9. It's not 7. Because we wouldn't be able to get here in time with a 7. So what does that mean? That means, it does mean, so we just said if we go through these, there's an 8. You know, we're crossing the threshold at an 8, we said. So that means the 8 is not in the center either. It means 9 is in the center, right? With an 8 above and a 7 below or whatever. So flanked by 7, 8, basically. So for example, if this is 8, if we're going this way, we've got the 1 here. This is 8, 9. That means this is 7. And this is 8. And then 8's down here. So does that mean 8 is always down here? Because we know we go through an 8 and we know we hit a 9. Like we're going through here. So one of these is a 9, and that means 8 is either above or below this one. It's above or below this one, or it's above or below this one. So I think we're saying 8 is always down here. So I think we're saying 8 is never up here. And that means this is never 2. Is that really what we're saying? I may be way off. I might be just outrageously off. It means that 8 is not here. That'd be pretty funny if I was just like totally outrageously wrong. 8, we can't go through here, right? Because if we go through here, these digits have to sum to 24. The secret door in the mountainside is in column 8, 3 cells in length, and centered on the keyhole, digits that sum to 24. So if we go through here, we have 24 here. We have 7, 8, 9, and we have 2 8s. So I think you're a rainy day. So I think we go through here or here. If we go through here, well, it also means 9 is here or here. One of these is a 9, so this is never a 9. So this is only 1 or 5, I think. So one of these digits is a 9. So we had a problem with that, right? Like if this is the 2, then if this is 2, we already said this was 1 for reasons who can possibly remember. It's because 5 couldn't be here or here. So it'd be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? 8, 9. This is a 1, so this is a 9. The 8 can't go here, so this is 8. This is 7 with a 3 with a 6. This must be, is this 2, 4 in that scenario? I can't remember. I think we have a 1 here. So that sort of seems okay. It does also mean that 7 is not in here, right? You know, 7 is in this land, so there's no 7s in here at all. And there's already no 7s in here at all. So one of these digits is 7. I'm sure I'm making this puzzle too complicated, but I am enjoying it. That seems to say that there's definitely a 7 here. guess we go ahead and fill these out. 1 is 9, 2 is 8, 4 is 6, 7 is 3, 9 is 1. Really useful pencil marks there. God, it's just, I don't know about the 5s. Anyway, so that was this scenario. If we did this scenario, then if this is the 9, then this, sorry, if this is the 8, then this is 9. So I think these digits are from 7, 8, 9, right? Always? Because if this is the center, then it's 9. If this is the center, then it's 9. If this is 9, sorry, if this is 8, 9, then this is the 8. And if this is 8, 9, then this is the 8. And then the 7s are here or here. So I think there's an 8, 9 pair. This is never the 8. Because you couldn't do that. So that is never 8. So that is never 2. That means this is never 4, because it can't go 2 or 8. So that is never 4. So this is either a 3, 6, or it's a 2, 4. If it's 2, 4, that's the 6. Didn't we say one of these was no good? Like if we did 3, 6, 4, was that just fully hypothetical? Can't remember now. Anyway, we do have an 8, 9 pair here. So, and there's never a 7. There's never a 7 in here. There's never a 7, 8, 9 here. So doesn't that mean this is a 4, 6 pair? So this becomes 7, 3, 6. I think this was the thing we prophesized. And that means the door is here, right? And that means our sun shines in right here. And this is 1, 9, and this is 9, 8, and this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No 8's there. No 1 or 9 there. So we do get an 8, 2 pair here. There's no 2 here. So there's no 8 here. That 8 goes away. You're not 5 or 8. This puzzle's really cool. I feel like I'm making it too complicated, but I don't care. It's a cool puzzle. You're a cloudy day. So these are all odds now, right? You're the sunshine. So these are exclusively odd digits. I mean, 7 is in here, for example. Maybe it doesn't really mean that, I guess. Because you don't have to have 7. Because this could be 1, 3, 5, 9. I want 7 to be in there. Because of this. Right now 7's here or here. All right, you are odd people. You're not a 9. But I don't think 7 has to be in there, right? 7 could be up here. Anyway, you are a 6. I think we have other stuff we just didn't fill out yet. You not being a 6 means you are not a 4. You couldn't be a 4, 6 anyway because of this. That 4, 6 means this is a 9 and this is a 1, so that's a 2. That's an 8. I got scared there for a second. That means you're a 9. That becomes 7 and 3. That becomes 5. You are the 3 and the 6. This is a 5-7 pair. You're not a 3. We know. What is this if it's not a 2-4? We already have one. I think this just is a 2-4, right? Because we have our 1, 2, 4, 3, 6. We have all of our options, and you're a 5. Do we know the directions of that? I kind of feel like we do. Because this is either 1, 2, or it's 2, 4, right? There's not anything else it can be. There's always a 2 in here. So this is 4, 2, no 4 there. That's 5. This 4, 6 pair leaves a, what, 3, 5? We just have a digit here. There's 6. And this is 4, 7, it seems. I hope I did this right. I really do. What can you actually be? You're not 5, by the way. Like this, I guess this still could be, no. Well, the high digit's not 8, 9, and the high digit on this side is not. So the low digits here and the high digits are here. So the possibilities here are 1, 9 or 3, 7, but only in one direction. Oops. So there's no 7, 9 here, so there's no 1, 3 here. This person has 7, 9 fully ruled off and 6, 4 fully ruled off. So it's 8, 2, I think. This needs, that's been there for 1,000 years. You're not a 6, so you're not a 4. As soon as you're not a 4, you're not an 8. Um, 6 is just here, I think. 8's just here, I think. You become 4, 6. So this is another, we have all our even digits. This is just another odd digit. In fact, all of these are odd digits. So this is 1, 3, 9 with the 3 and the 1 seeing things. There's no 1 here. There's no 3 here. So that is the 9, the 3, the 1. This becomes 5, 7, 9. 5, 7 sees the middle. 5, 7, 9 without the 7 in the middle. And so the only thing left here is an odd digit that is a 1. Could have seen that very obviously. It's either 1, 2 or it's 2, 4. Definitely 2 in there. I don't know if we really care about that. This is a 5, 5, 8, I think. This is a 3, 4 pair, I think. We did get our 9 up here. We get the 8 and the 2. The 2 could still go with 1 or 4, I think. So this becomes the other half of a 1, 4 pair. Surely we know some stuff about that. This is a 1, 9 pair. So that's, oops, that's the 9, that's the 1. The 1 comes out of here. What is this? This mishmash. This mishmash needs a 4 somewhere, right? It's not there. So I think that's the 4 and the 7. It takes the 7 out of here. Still don't quite have this. So this, well, this just needs a 4 and a 4, 5. Didn't help. We actually used all the clues, right? I think we did. Hope that sums to 24. One of you is high. We have all our evens. So this is an odd digit, and it sees, so that's just the other half of the 5, 7 pair. And then we are just missing 8, I think. So 3 appears to be in here, and 9 appears to be in here. The other half of the 5, 7. That 5, 7 goes there. The 2 can still go with 1 or 4, I think. Maybe that's not true. I'm just missing something. Anywho, we need 2, 7, 9, which helps a little. That's not the 9. That's not the 7. We got our 2, 7, 9 triple. And here we need 1, 3, 6, I think. The 6 we'll see. 1, 3, 6, and that's not the 6. So I think we place the 6 here. 1, 3 pair, 2, 5, 9. So what do we have going on? Do we just have some tricky triples and things, or am I just missing a clue, which is probably more likely? Three Sarah there. The 6, 7. These were all okay. At this point, it's definitely just me being bad at Sudoku. So let's take a quick gander, especially at even digits. So what do we have here? 3 has a couple places, 4 has a couple places, 5 has a couple places, 1 and 2 have a couple places, 7 has a couple places. Maybe I transpose something again. That would be sad. Do I have like something that doesn't actually sum to 10? Or do I have a crop key that is wrong? That would be so sad. I feel like this puzzle felt like it was going very smoothly. And now I'm paranoid. Oh, well, we have a X-wing of 1s, right? Definitely 1 in here. There's definitely 1 in here. So this is 3, 1. You're not the 3. So that makes this the 9, the 2. Okay, so it's just Sudoku. Surprising no one. Seven ended up there after all. Wow, that was so good. What like an interesting, the cloud ray thing was so interesting. I don't think I've seen anything like that. Like it was basically a build your own thermo. So what did we have? We had like some really unique rule sets in here. Obviously X's are very standard. Black crop keys are very standard. We had a like build your own thermo, which was very interesting. And then I kind of forgot about the key thing that led to the solve was the like 7, 8, 9 triple that was required in column 8, which I could have thought about sooner. Although I don't know, I feel like I didn't do too terribly on this. 51 minutes. I feel like under an hour is a fairly respectable time. It's definitely a challenging puzzle. 3 stars maybe. Didn't feel like there were any wild leaps. I think my biggest problem was just forgetting this rule set for a while. But even that, I feel like I didn't forget it for too long. The way all of these like ruled themselves out was really interesting. Like, you know, it's always a fine line, I think, when you're talking like process of elimination, you don't want to get into like, well, let's just try this one. Let's just try this one. You didn't have to go far into it. And I was very verbose in expressing it, but it's very clear that either this is a direct run of digits or the digit you skip ends up here. Like that, you only have 2 options. So that's, for example, that's why the 1 didn't work here, because the 5 had to be here or here. So I was very long-winded, but we were pretty limited by what these did. Now, the thing that I was very late to see, which was just absurd, was that I got so immediately fascinated by what was going on with the clouds that I didn't pay attention to the pressure that these digits were kind of putting on some of these surrounding clues. The way this sort of grew and like snuck up was a bit unexpected. That was cool to see. I mean, I should have seen that just instantly, but again, I was mesmerized by this. So in terms of the rule set, I guess I don't know. I could maybe imagine like being slightly less verbose on the thermometer rule. I mean, not even that it's a bad thing. It's just, you know, you're just looking at this and seeing like X crop key. Not that you need to say it's a thermo, of course. I just mean like maybe this could be slightly more concise. And then this was really interesting. Like we effectively had to create a cage. So it's kind of like build your own thermo from a potential set of origins and a like find your own killer cage, which probably I could have really, excuse me. This I'm looking now was way limited immediately. Right? Like you thinking about where this really could have gone, just even not even thinking about a single other thing in the puzzle and just start with this, right? Like it doesn't, this digit's not involved immediately, right? Because I mean, in terms of being I mean, it's just not even involved because as soon as this was included, like if this was shining here, then you have like a 7, 8, 9 on an X. So that obviously didn't work. And then, well, maybe that's about as tight as you could get. You would have constrained this pretty quickly. I can't remember how we got this 3 immediately. So that would have compromised. We knew that 9 would be in the middle. Actually, that actually took a while to learn. So maybe we didn't know that immediately. Anyway, this I think was more limited than I initially appreciated. And I think this would have been eliminated even more quickly. I mean, not immediately, but we would have gotten this, I think, relatively quickly. That we couldn't have a 7 here because of the 3. The 2 maybe we still could have had. Anyway, that was very cool. And some of these just fell apart immediately. And some of them took some more thinking. I think I sort of over-processed. But anyway, that was super good. And I feel reasonably okay about my solve. So I'm going to maybe go do some work now. I don't really want to.